to make sure the other party comes for mediation.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. It's a duty of the center, real estate mediation center, and even the appointed mediator to look at ways of bringing the other parties for mediation.
How do they do this?
Yeah, there are diverse ways they do this. They put a call, they visit, they write a letter, and they discuss. They try to demystify the outlook or the perception about what mediation actually is and what it stands to gain to resolve the disputes from time to time.
Okay, so once the mediator has been appointed, what next?
Yeah, once the mediator has been appointed, they fix a date for the mediation. And prior to the commencement of mediation, the parties will sign a form, an agreement to mediate. Do you understand? Because mediation is voluntary, so those parties must try to, they must sign the form, agreement to mediate, and even the mediator too will sign a confidentiality.
Why do they need to sign the agreement to mediate for?
One of the cardinal things that goes with mediation is that it must be voluntary. So that the parties that are coming, they are not under any compulsion or under any duress. They are not coming, nobody is forcing them to come for mediation. It's voluntary. So they must sign an agreement to mediate. So even before even signing, let me say this, even before signing the mediation for agreement to mediate form, they will have run them through the process of mediation. What do they stand to gain? They will have let them realize that what they are coming for is strictly confidential. So the parties must know that everything they are saying there is confidential, that nobody is going to use it, start using to run stories about what transpired there. And what they are coming, everything in the course of the mediation is without prejudice. That means that there is no facts presented, there are no documents presented in the course of mediation that will be used against either of the party in the course of law. And they must get to know that, look, this thing they are doing is voluntary, they are not hell-bent that they must come. Do you understand? Then they must know that the mediator is a neutral person. Neutrality is cardinal in mediation, so that it's not throwing the line of either A or B. Everything that it's doing, it maintains that level of non-bias to either of the parties.
Does the mediator give advice, to the parties?
Oftentimes, in what do you call in closed sessions, he may. But the way mediation is structured, it's not the mediator actually that does the talking. It's about 20% discussion by the disputing parties and 20% discussion on the part of the mediators. He may ask questions.
You mean 80% discussion?
The 80% discussions talking on the part of the disputing parties, that the claimant and the respondent. So the mediator is just there to talk for about 20 minutes. He does little talking, but he guides the whole process to bring them to a common ground to reach an agreement. So it's not an advice. He may throw the advice in question, and when it comes to closed session, he may offer its own discreet advice, but it's not compulsory, but he guides them.
Okay, so during mediation, we've talked about what happens during mediation now. So once mediation is concluded, what is the next step?
The next thing is that once the mediator tries to drive the disputing parties to reach a term of settlement, mutually consented to, mutually agreed to by the disputing parties. So is their function. Mediation, like I always say, is assisted negotiation. So what the mediator does is this: is going to make sure, look at ways that all the parties can do trade-offs, come to agree at a workable term of settlement. And once that is done, the mediator prepared the terms of settlement for the both parties, which will be signed and witnessed by the mediator, and the mediator will be signed. And at that point in time, that's the end of mediation. But it goes beyond that. Oftentimes, 80% of term of settlement reached by the parties in mediation, they don't relent on it. It's something that oftentimes 80 to 85% they don't relent on it. But at times they may decide to take the term of settlement to the court, and ADR judge sit over it and bring forward a consent judgment for it that is enforceable anytime.
So that makes it a